Good afternoon and welcome to Friday with Fiona, and it's Good Friday 2025. So I've got some more projects for you that are on the last chance list and we'll be saying goodbye to at the beginning of May. And it's the Adventurous Sky, which is this stamp set. Some lovely sentiments. You always lift me up, flying by to say hi, you're the best, plain and simple. And it's just fun, and you can die cut what you've stamped, the planes and the clouds, or you can make a completely different plane. So we're going to use both of those today. I think I've got everything ready, hopefully. So the first one, we're using Smoky Slate, Basic Grey, and the Designer Series paper, which is carrying over, and it's called Take to the Sky. It's using boho blue, but boho blue is going. It's the in colour. It was 2023 to 2025, so that's going also next month, so not long. Now, I've cut my clouds. I've stamped and cut my clouds, and I've stamped my plane, but I want to show you how I'm going to colour it. And then I've die cut these from the Everyday Wishes. Just also to say, when you spend £25 or more in my online store, I will send you the kit to make the 3 cards, and I will die cut everything, but I can't send you stamped images, and you'll get a full tutorial with pictures, measurements and instructions. Otherwise, just got to kind of rewatch the video, and I will give you basic measurements. Now, I've stamped this in Memento Black because I want to colour it in. Should be using Smoky Slate, but my Smoky Slate blends, I've kind of given up the ghost, so I'm not putting another order until next month, so I'll have to wait till then. So I'm just going to show you how I did my colouring. So the plain I did in the grey, and I'm going to take my dark and go over these little marks that the artist has given us. Sort of highlight things, and then I'll go over in detail with my light. Okay, so that's it for the dark, and then I'm going to go over with the light, and I'm using the nib end just because it gives me better control. So I'm using grey granite. Still grey, but it's kind of got a bit of a brown effect to it, I think. But then when it's against the grey, it will look grey. So I'm just literally colouring the plane in. It's so quiet here today. Everyone, well, the kids aren't playing out. I think they must have gone away for Easter. And they're all back to school next week. It's really weird. I need the black as well, actually. Just realised for the wheels. Wheels up. Right. Now, I know it looks weird that I haven't done my, I don't know what you call it. It's the effect of the propellers. But you will see why in a moment. Let's do the wheels. I'll keep that out, actually. Right. Now, because it's going to go on a background of a cloudy sky, if I mean, you could, when I die cut it, it would just be white, but I don't really want that. I want to have the effect of the sky. So I'm going to go with my wide end. I'm going to, and I should be using boho blue. Then I wanted to use balmy blue, but that died on me as well. So I'm actually using Azure Afternoon, which may be a little bit bright, but when I cut it out, you'll see what I mean. That's the bin men. Loads of our neighbours haven't put their bins out because I think they thought it's a bank holiday, so they won't come. But we've had emails from the council saying they were coming today. I can't see because I'm doing my video, but I reckon people will be running out now with their bins, if they're in, that is. Just heard somebody shouting. And then in here, I might need to do the nib end. No, just. Well, I just realised we don't have a pilot, but not to worry. So I'll just do a bit more there. Right, that should be enough. So now I'm going to get my mini cut and emboss machine. And leave the dies. Where have I put them? Put them somewhere safe. Okay. And then it's this one. I'm going to line that up. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape on to hold it in place. Where's my tape? Already it's moved. Now, why don't you want to go through? This is how not to die cut, by the way. I should have had it ready, not to worry. Nope, still doesn't want to go through. There we go. And you'll see what I mean about, there we go. So that would all have been white, but now it looks like the sky. So when it's in place, it will look more appropriate, if that makes sense. Right, I will need those again later. Let's get that out of the way. And we can put our card together. So these arches are from the Everyday Arches set. Oh, I am going to need a stamp. So I'm just going to take the cloud. And I did the little cloud. And I'll put it on a little block, I think. smaller block anyway. Just have a sip of coffee. And I did that with smoky slate, onto smoky slate. And obviously the arches are going to cover some of that up, so I'm just going to kind of go randomly. That'll do. That's going to be covered up. Now, I discovered quite by accident the other day, this is one of the new In Colours Secret Sea, and I stamped it thinking it was navy, Night of Navy, but it's going to be great for sentiments, so I'm going to keep that out, and I will use that in a moment. And what sentiment? Oh, flying by to say hi we had on this one. Flying by to say hi. That's cute. That's it. Get that ready. Right, so next, and this is going flat on the card because the plane and the clouds are raised with dimensionals, and it would just make it, the postage be just ridiculous. So I'm using Seal Plus, and I'm pressing hard so I don't pull the cardstock up. Pop that on. And then the Designer Series paper, which I cut out with the Everyday Arches 2 sizes smaller. There we go. And I'm going to stamp straight onto my Designer Series paper. And this is Secret Sea. So, flying by to say hi. There we go. Nice and dark. Keep that out in case I need it. And then we're going to pop our clouds and plane on with dimensionals. I've got some different tweezers. My other one's falling apart. A bit like me, really, but I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to use these. It's tricky. No, I'm going to go back to my old ones, even if they are falling apart. And my clouds. Across the middle, and then the other one. and slightly off to the side. Now I'm just going to line my plane up. So I could put another dimensional up there. There we go. Okay, and there's card one. So, oh, I did just put one of the jewels, and these are the two-tone sparkle gems. And they're quite flat, which I just thought was good, and it is a good fit, the smaller size for the front of the propeller. There we go. Okay, so there's card one. So that was in balmy blue, and that's in azure afternoon. It's a little bit bright, so but I like that. So card one. Moving swiftly on to card two, and this one is a bit of fun, and it's also a bit tricky, and I'm using florist's wire, I think it's called. I'm going to need my little cutters, and I need my pencil. There we go. So it's just to kind of give it a bit of a, and the plane, both levels. I might just do the plane this time because it's a bit rocky with that. I think I'm just going to go with the plane. So, and then you can see the difference. I haven't actually put a sentiment on that one, but you could put whatever sentiment you wanted on. So I've used Knight of Navy card base, just because. Knight of Navy circle. Now that was blueberry bushel, but again, I think that's too bright. So I've gone back to navy with this one. And that's for inside. I've got the same designer series paper with the clouds to go on the front. And then I've got, this is the plane that is not a stamp, you just die cut it. So you've got the wings, the main part of the plane, and then the propeller. So I need to put that together first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my, and these circles are from the nature, what is it, shows stopping, no, oh gosh, what is it called, spotlight on nature, that's what it's called. So let's pop this circle. And I'm just going to put this one on flat. No, I'm not. I'm going to pop this on first. Making sure my card is the right way around and that my clouds are the right way up. Oh, I didn't tell you the measurements for the other card. I'll go through those in a second. But so it's half A4, and it's 14.8 by 21, scored in half at 10.5, and then the designer series paper is 10 by 14.3. So just half a centimetre, and then I'm just going to pop that on flat, and we'll see what the difference is. There we go. Right, so now I need to pop my plane together, and I need my silicone mat for the glue. Now, my glue was playing up yesterday. It had almost gone a bit like sour milk, like cottage cheesy, but hopefully I'm hoping I've sorted it. So that's my main part of the plane. So, oh yes, it's coming out. That's much better. Just checking where the where else I need glue. Oh, hello. Which is why I had it on the silicone mat. Yeah, I do need it on there. So I'm lining up the wheels and the front of the plane. There we go. And you can just use silver foil. Oh no, see, I've put that on there and I don't actually need it, so I can cut that off now. It's the beauty of the silicone mat. This is some retired textured foil that I had, which I'm just going to use up. But silver foil or anything that you want. Right, now what I'm going to do, I've got a trick. I'm just going to give that a second to dry. Now, if you take your embossing buddy, so I've got, let's just go over it again. I'm going to fold that over. The silicone mat's brilliant for this. There we go. I don't want to put that back on top of anything. Now, I'm just going to go over with my silicone buddy, embossing buddy, and that stickiness is completely gone. There we go. So my mistake. And now I just need to pop my propeller on. So I just want a very little bit of glue here. That will do. Okay, just pop that aside to dry, and I can pop that on the inside. So now you've got somewhere to write your message. Okay, so then the trick is to get, this is instead of buying the wobbles, I think that's what they're called. I did have some and I was going to use one to compare, but I can't find them. They're somewhere in this mess that is my desk. So this is florist wire, very, very narrow. I don't have any label on it, so I can't tell you. And I'm just going to wrap it around my pencil. Just want to get it around 3 or 4 times. That's 3. Just once more for luck. And I'm going to snip that off. There we go. And then really clever this is put it through the hole and it keeps it in place. Oops. Wish they did that with our ribbons. There we go. Do that somewhere safe. Right, now I'm going to pull that off my pencil. Okay. And I'm going to take my 1/2-inch punch and some scrap Night of Navy. Yeah, 1/2 inch. It's an old one, but you can get them from anywhere. Amazon, Hobbycraft. So I want 2 of those. Right, So now I'm going to get my wet glue again. And I do want quite a bit of coverage. And the same on the other one. It came out a bit fast. And then I'm going to curve this last bit round. Actually, I'll just cut it off. And then I'm going to pop it in the glue. That one needs a bit more on it. Pop it on the top. Right, we need to give that a minute to dry. So my plane is now dry. And that's going to go on. I think we'll do the same thing. We'll do, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm just going to stamp the same sentiment because I really like that. Flying by to say hi. That's, you know, if you just want a card to send for no reason, it's quite a nice sentiment. So we'll do that at the bottom this time. Flying by to say hi. It's a lovely colour. See, on there it almost looks navy. I think it adjusts to what colours you've got in the background. Right, now I'm going to pop that in the middle. Making sure that's done. And very gently pop that there. Lots of wet glue. Making sure it's closed properly because I think that was the problem. It wasn't. Right, okay. And now I'm going to put my plane on. And just hold it in place for a second. Look amongst yourselves. No, let's come off the actual. I'm going to put the glue round. Oh, hello. That wasn't meant to happen. There we go. I'm going to put the glue around the wire itself. I should really have done that first and given it plenty of time to dry, so that's my mistake. Right, let's now get this on. Push it down. Normally wet glue dries quickly, but I guess it's because it's wire. It's not... Well, that was what I forgot to tell you. When I said about spending £25 in my store and getting the free kits to make these cards. But also the Stampin' Rewards have gone live. So every time you spend over £20, you'll earn 10% on what you spent. So I'm going to leave that to dry and we'll come back to it at the end. Okay, I'm going to put that somewhere safe. Right. Okay, so we'll move on to card 3 and come back to that. Okay, so this is quite a plain and simple. Basically, it's a plain and simple card. I'm really liking the navy and white. I do like navies. It's classic, basically. So this is another thing that's retiring. So the Adventurous Sky, I think it's 40% off for the stamp set and 50% off the dies. Just crazy prices. And this is an embossing folder, so it's the metal tool, I think it is. It went really well with the trusty tools. That's why I'm thinking it's tools. This is a metal 3D. So I thought it would be good because you have all sorts of metal things with planes. So again, it's half of A4, but this time it's cut the other way. So it's 10.5 by 29.6, scored in half at 14.8. Then I've got a piece of Night of Navy, which is 9.5 by 13.8. And that's going to be our mat. Just move that across. Now that's why I was pressing hard. But I obviously didn't press hard enough. There we go. So let's just line that up. And then I'm going to use wet glue for the embossing folder because it's got ridges. So I did seem to sort it out yesterday. That was good. I couldn't get anything out yesterday at all. And then this, I'm going to have to measure. This is 12.7 by 8.5. And then I've got a strip of designer series paper, which is 5.7 by 10.7, and that's going to go through the white and the Night of Navy. Now that is the second largest stylish shape square, which measures 7 centimeters by 7 centimeters. So I've just done it a fraction bigger. It might be too big. It's 7.5 at the moment, but we might need to trim it down. So I will, let's have a look at that. I think I'll leave it actually because we're and I'll do that in Memento Black because we're colouring. Another block, seeing as that one's doing gluing duty. So it's this plane, and it says you're the best, plain and simple. So if I stamp my sentiment first, and I can see how much room I've got for the plane. Good. Whoops, nearly dropped it. Okay. So just a quick bit of colouring, and I'm going to use, let me try my balmy blue again. Oh no, that's navy. Let's try it. How about we do some light navy? Maybe that'd be too dark. Let's have a look. Oh, I think I'm going to go with that. This is the only thing about this stamp set. I find colouring very therapeutic, but if you don't like colouring, you can stamp obviously straight onto coloured cardstock. That is an option. Perhaps I should have done that for this one. I'm just seeing how it looked. And we'll do the wheels in black. Right, so then what you do is line up your navy square. Take your, so this is 5.5 by, no, I think it's 5.7 actually. Yeah, 5.7 by 10.7. I'm just going to lay it on there. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue in the middle because it's going to have the other one glued on top of it. Line that up. And then that's going to go on the top. And I just need to trim a little bit off the top there. What we do. And then that is going on flat. And a bit of Winker Stella. It's quite dark, but that's okay. Doesn't look like navy either. This is just lighten it up a bit. there's card 3. And you obviously, because it's a white base, you don't need an insert. So that's card 3. Let's go back to our card 2. Yeah, that's stuck now. So there you've got your wobble. I should have done it first, but right, so that's card 2. And that was, I think it's a bit too much having the, is one or the other. You could do the circle with just the plane sitting on the dimensionals maybe. And card 1, which I've lost, is there. So I'd love to know which is you preferred. I don't know, I like 1 and I like 3. 2 is just a bit of fun. So thanks for watching. I wish you all a very happy Easter. Next week I'm using the Country Flowers, which will be another last chance product. I will check that it's still available. If it's not, I will swap to something else. But thanks for watching. I'm doing some reels, so I'd love you to share those if you see them. Coming in May, there's going to be some giveaways and things like that, so I'm excited about that. Happy Easter and hope to see